Reddit, what is the worst secret your significant other is keeping from you, but that you actually know? That he tapes Home Shopping Network shoes shows and faps to them because he has a foot thing. He usually tapes and watches them when I'm at work. We work opposite shifts, so he thinks that I don't know. His last girlfriend, who he was completely and totally in love with, passed away while they were fighting, and that's why he's so apprehensive about getting serious with me. If he never tells me, I will definitely be concerned, but I can see how that is incredibly hard to talk about. I don't expect it to come up anytime soon. I am fairly certain that my wife no longer wants to be married to me. After the birth of our child, almost 4 years ago, the lovemaking has dried up. Her interest in me as a partner, both physical attraction and character appeal, has dwindled to almost zero, and talk of future plans has all but stopped. I'm not sure why she hasn't given me the boot, or what I have done to cause this change. Well, that wasn't nearly as cathartic as I hoped it would be. Going through a divorce, but unfortunately living with the woman. She puts a small star on her planner every day she meets up with her new boyfriend. She puts a small heart on her planner every day they screw. He really likes to get his back lightly scratched before bed. I generally do it to help him fall asleep. There has been many times he will go to bed early and fake going to sleep just to get his back scratched. I go along with it because I know it makes him happy, but he thinks he has been scheming me this whole time. My husband waits until I fall asleep and then tells me how beautiful he thinks I am, how much he loves me, etc. I only know because I've woken up a few times during. Once I couldn't help but smile, and he said, "Oops, you're waking up," kissed my forehead, and rolled over. He tells me he loves me and whatnot when I'm awake, but he is rarely overly emotional, so it's cute to know he gets mushy when I fall asleep. The second time me and my ex-boyfriend screwed, he stopped abruptly after about a minute and a half and asked if I was numb. I was so confused, and he proceeded to explain that we had used an extended pleasure condom and that he couldn't feel anything. He claimed that one of his frat brothers had stocked his condom drawer with such condoms. He hurried to the bathroom, and while he was gone, I looked at the wrapper on the floor, and it was a regular condom. My theory is that he finished really quickly and was embarrassed because we didn't have a lot of experience together, and he made up an elaborate story so I wouldn't know. He comes across very confident and masculine, but underneath it, he's pretty insecure, so it was transparent to me. Honestly, I really wouldn't have cared either way. If anything, I was flattered. It was just funny that he thought I didn't know. He loves the Phantom of the Opera, like several versions of the recordings on his iPod, in among all the indie rock. I think it's hilarious, but he seems embarrassed by it and will skip past those songs so fast if we're playing his iPod in the car. What's that? Nothing. My girlfriend told me while blackout drunk what she was getting me for my birthday. It was a great present, and I never told her I knew, even once she gave it to me. I figured she was excited about it. No reason to ruin it. Okay, I never planned to talk about this, but the timing is perfect. I have guinea pigs. 3 to be exact, and they live in a 2.5 by 6 foot enclosure, inside of which is an open cage and fun stuff to do. It's a captive rodent utopia compared to the alternatives. One guinea pig is a freaking butthole. I hate her. All she does is work the water bottle and floods the cage. I yell at the noise and she runs away for a minute and then she's back. If I thought my kids wouldn't notice, well, my solution to this problem would be quick and decisive, I can tell you that. So I set up my webcam one night to monitor the behavior in order to see if this is a frick you human thing or a I am very sick and screaming for help kind of thing. Due diligence, I guess. It was a one-night monitoring so I could get a good and final recommendation from the veterinarian. When I went to send the video from the night before, I saw something that, like the flip of a switch, demolished my entire life up to that point. Like an enormous explosion in my face. I saw my wife pass the camera at what must have been 2 or 3 a.m., butt naked, with another woman chasing after her. They were both giggling. It was a very short clip. The girl running after her was younger, and definitely more buxom. That's all I have. This happened Friday. I didn't ask my wife about it, and she played like she was asleep all night. I have no idea who the other person was. Not my current significant other, but a year and a bit ago, I dated, had an open relationship with a girl. The reason why I thought it was an open relationship was because I knew she was also sleeping with her best friend. A few months pass, and she wants to get more serious. I ask about her friend and how he took the news, and she tries to act like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Turns out she was cheating on me the whole time because she thought we were exclusive. Clearly that relationship didn't last long. That my significant other has a blanket he sleeps with every night, and that it's his security blanket. Just one of those things that he couldn't let go from his childhood. I don't mind because it brings him comfort, but every time I refer to it as being his security blanket, he gets really defensive and tells me that he just likes it because it blocks the light out of his eyes at night. Kind of cute, actually. Found out from a reliable source about my ex. I was wondering why he seemed to always have a little bit of restraint while falling for me and stuff. He seemed to always be a little distant. His brother told me about his ex-fiancée, who cheated on him with his other brother, and he dumped her. She went to a party and got super drunk and called him to apologize and try to fix things. He ignored his phone, and she was involved in an accident where she was killed instantly driving home. I asked him about it once, when he was showing me old pictures, and there was one of her. He told me he wished he would have answered the phone, and he said he would have picked her up and gotten back together with her. I always felt like I was competing, trying to win his heart like she had, but never was good enough. That he sits down to pee every time. I can tell. I can hear him sit down in our home bathroom, and if he ever talks when he is in there, I can tell by the sound of his voice which way he is facing. Once I asked him about it, and he lied. I definitely don't give a rat's butt if he stands or sits. I think it's kinda cute that he refuses to admit it. He's allowed his privacy, and it's so trivial, so of course I don't press it. I asked her to watch my pet turtle when I went out of town for the week, and she killed him. She replaced him with a doppelganger with a missing toe, and thinks I haven't noticed. She secretly records and watches every episode of Maury, the Maury Povich Show. I have no idea why. She watches them every morning on her commute into work. I brought it up once and she angrily denied it. I said it wasn't a big deal, and I was curious. We haven't spoken about it since. It's been going on for a few years. Her mother hates me. She's never unkind to my face, but I've been told by a couple different people that she doesn't like me and thinks my significant other can do much better. We got engaged a couple of weeks ago. I could hear the rage her mother was suppressing in her voice when we called her. It was delicious. I really hope that my girlfriend doesn't know about my deep, dark secret. Ever since I was a little kid, I've liked to poop naked. I still do. My ex found out after we were dating for 3 years and got really weirded out. Kinda feels good to get it off my chest here. My ex-boyfriend's mom showed me an article from our town's local newspaper about him getting detentions/citations in middle school for wearing eyeliner. He's into screamo hardcore metal music. There were pictures and everything. He wrote letters to the principal and the newspaper. Local people even gave comments about what they thought on the issue. It was the best thing ever. She made me swear to never tell him. Just spent a romantic and expensive 3-day weekend in Denver attending the Comic-Con with my wife. Spent over $1,000 not including tickets to make sure we had a good time. She told me tonight that she was going out to drink wine and paint with her sisters who live an hour away. I already had my suspicions, so I didn't buy it. Googled the dude I thought she was cheating on me with, got his address, packed the kids in the car, and drove over to find the car I bought her, parked in his driveway. Took the car, dropped it off somewhere she can't get to it. Meanwhile, her older sister texted me to tell me she had too much to drink and was going to pass out at her house, but would be home early in the morning. So much BS. Went home and bagged up all her clothes and shoes, her wedding dress, our wedding album, actually any photos of the two of us that I could find, her toiletries, and laid them out on the driveway. Changed the locks to the doors, disabled the garage door, and locked all the windows so she cannot get in. Took our 3-year-old daughter and my 6-year-old stepson to my parents' house. Put her bicycle in the middle of her pile of crap. Now I'm just sitting here, waiting for her to figure out what has happened. Tomorrow it will be time to cancel her cell phone. I pay for it. Lawyer up and start hitting the gym. It is also my first day on a new job. One I only accepted since the pay would make providing for my family so much easier. This wasn't the first time she has cheated, but it will be the last. I just don't know how to tell my 6-year-old son, who has lived with me since he was 1, and who I've always loved as if he were biologically mine, that I probably won't get to be his daddy anymore. Frick my life and frick that cheating chib. Promised update. It is still early, but she came home alone. I made the mistake of letting her in the house. I told her I was done and she needed to leave. She doesn't live here anymore. She called her dad, who came and helped her get her crap off my driveway. I told her she was cut off. Anything she has/had that I pay for is gone. No house, no car, no phone, no health/dental insurance. I texted her sister back to let her know I already picked up my car from her fireman frick buddy's driveway when she texted, and to never contact me again, since she is full of as much crap as her sister. My soon-to-be ex-wife and her dad packed her crap and left. I made sure to remind her that she chose this, not me. I made her take her wedding dress, our photo albums, and any pictures I could find of us without the kids in them. I told her not to contact me during my business hours, but that if she needed anything out of the house, we would make arrangements. Basically just hammered the point home that we were done. She cried and told me she doesn't want a divorce, doesn't want to split up our family, and tried to convince me that she has never fricked the guy. I asked her to leave, and she has. Not much else to report at the moment. We'll be back later today to add more info as it develops. Thank you for the support, Reddit. It means more than any of you know.